Before we jump into today's episode, I want to invite you to a live training I'm hosting called The Hidden SEO Mistakes Costing Clinics Patients Right Now and Easy Fixes. If you've ever wondered why your clinic isn't showing up as often as you would like on Google, Google Maps, or even AI-powered search results, this training is for you. I'll be sharing some of the most common SEO mistakes I see clinic owners making right now and simple fixes that can help improve your visibility. You can save your spot by visiting propelyourcompany.com/June. And if you can't make it live, sign up anyway because a replay will be available for a limited time. All right, now on to today's episode. Welcome back to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Darcy Sullivan from Propel Marketing and Design. Today, I want to talk to you about something that almost every clinic owner experiences. Patients are finding your website. They're spending time on your website. They're probably looking around. And then they leave without making a phone call, without booking an appointment, without filling out a contact form, nothing. Many clinic owners assume that the problem is associated with traffic. They simply think they need more traffic, and more traffic will absolutely help. But there are some foundational elements you have to put in play in order to guarantee that more traffic will convert and that your current traffic will convert. Because the bigger problem is getting people to convert and take that next step once they've actually arrived on your website. Your website has one primary job. It should help visitors feel confident enough to schedule an appointment. If it doesn't accomplish that, even amazing Google and AI rankings won't produce the results you're looking for. So today I'm going to walk you through some of the biggest reasons patients leave clinic websites without booking, along with practical fixes you can make. Let's dive in. One of the biggest mistakes I see is a homepage that tries to sound too impressive instead of being clear, or is too vague. Visitors should not have to guess what you do. Within just a few seconds of arriving, they should know what type of clinic you are, who you help, what conditions you treat, what services you specialize in, and where you're located. So instead, I often see headlines that are like, helping you live your best life or changing lives every day. And while those are nice, they're very generic and they don't tell Google or potential patients anything specific. Imagine someone searching for chiropractor for sciatica near me. They land on your homepage. If they don't immediately see that you help people with sciatica or back pain, they'll probably hit the back button and continue searching. Remember, patients aren't reading every word, they're scanning. So we need to make it incredibly obvious that they're in the right place. Oftentimes, patients don't book appointments because they understand your services. They book because they believe you're the solution to their problem. Those are two different things. Many clinic websites spend pages talking about chiropractic adjustments, physical therapy techniques, massage therapy, and more. And those pages are very important, but very few answer the questions patients actually have, like, will this help with my condition? Or what happens during a first visit? Does the treatment hurt? How long does it take? Do they accept my insurance? What does recovery look like? The more unanswered questions patients have, the more uncertain they feel. And uncertainty leads to inaction. One of the biggest ways to improve conversions is to simply answer more of your patients' questions throughout your entire website. Another reason that patients do not book appointments when visiting a website could be that your website looks beautiful, but it doesn't build trust. This surprises a lot of clinic owners. Beautiful website design isn't enough. Patients need evidence. They're looking for proof that you're experienced, you're trustworthy, and capable of helping someone like them. That proof comes from things like patient reviews, testimonials, before and after, stories, credentials, awards, years in practice, photos of your actual office, photos of your actual team, videos introducing yourself, frequently asked questions, which, by the way, do not need to be shoved on a frequently asked question page. They can be included throughout your website in a very casual way. Case studies, and the goal is really reducing uncertainty. The more comfortable someone feels, the more likely they are to schedule. Now, let's talk about removing friction for somebody to book an appointment. This is huge. We need to make it as easy as possible for someone to book an appointment for you. So we want to make sure that your calls to action are not weak and that you don't have conversion confusion. So to make sure that your calls to action are not weak, we want you to have a button that says schedule now, book now, request an appointment, book your consultation, whatever best suits your clinic. But we want a button, preferably in the main navigation all the way to the right, that clearly shows them how to book an appointment. And whether that goes to your software that allows them to book an appointment or to a page that directs them as to how you want them to book an appointment, you should not be directing them to your contact us page. You should be directing them to a specific book now location or page. Now, I mentioned conversion confusion. This is on the other end when there's too many calls to actions. It could be download this document, sign up for our newsletter. And by the way, a lot of people that have that confusion of like, sign up for our newsletter, give zero value add for a reason somebody would sign up for their newsletter. So if that's you, just ditch sign up for our newsletter. Now, I'm not saying that you can't run traffic to downloadable items like ebooks or worksheets or even video series teaching them something, but we do want the main call to action to be very clear and easy to take. You also want to make sure that you're including calls to actions throughout your pages. So as people scroll, there is that, again, that book now call to action that guides people in the direction that you want them to take. Now, another one that I want to talk to you about is reasons why people might leave your website before booking an appointment is you're talking too much about yourself. And this is common. Some websites read like resumes. We've been serving the community since blah, blah, blah. Our doctors have over 87 years of combined experience. We use the latest technology. Those things matter, but they shouldn't dominate the conversation. Patients are asking themselves one simple question when they're browsing: can this clinic help me? So instead of making yourself the hero, make your patients the hero. Talk about the outcomes they're looking for. Talk about getting back to golf if that's what you serve, or sleeping through the night, or picking up your grandchildren, returning to work without pain. Show patients the future that they're hoping for. Now, there are technical issues why somebody might not be taking the action when they come to your website. This could be because your web pages load too slowly, or your buttons don't work, or the text is hard to read, or the wording for the call to action you have is on top of an image, or there's an issue scheduling an appointment within itself. So we want to say, how easy or how difficult is it for somebody to navigate through your website? Because small frustrations create big losses. Another reason, there's so many, right? We just keep going and just keep going. is that you're missing conditions pages. Now, some of the most important core pages on your website, besides your homepage and besides your about page and your booking page, include your specific services and your specific conditions pages. Now, I always suggest to people, if they haven't taken the time out to build out each of those pages in depth, not just a little paragraph, but real high quality content that's unique to your business. Start with your core services first, building out those pages, but then move on to your core conditions you treat. This is a big miss that I see when it comes to a lot of clinics. They probably have focused on a couple of their core services pages, hopefully, but they're missing the mark when it comes to the conditions pages. And these are really great for local SEO and also for AI searches. This way, if somebody lands on one of those pages, that page speaks directly to their condition. They usually stay longer and they feel more understood. Now, we talked about this earlier, but I do want to come back to it. We talked about it before regarding making it as easy as possible for somebody to book your appointment. But there's a couple other things that I want to point out. If you want somebody to call you to book an appointment, you want to make sure that they're able to click on your phone number if they are on a mobile device. Now, if you have your website up where it's click to call, if they click on your phone number, if they're on a desktop, it's not going to call you. But if they are on a mobile device, it will call you. So if that's the action you want them to take to book an appointment, make sure you do that. Also, we had talked about those newsletter signups, but let's also talk about social media because I feel like this can be a swing and a miss for people where they have their social media content, social media links up in the header of their website. So a patient might come to their website, see the social media links, click on Instagram, and then end up on Instagram and then end up doing things and looking at their friends' feed and just doing things and getting distracted. So I love social media. I love for you to include your social media links on your website, but put them down in the footer so that they're not distracting from the action you want people to take. And we cannot ignore the role of AI search. It's something that is becoming more and more important. Patients aren't only visiting your website from Google anymore. They're coming from AI search tools like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity, and Google's AI overviews. These visitors often arrive after reading an AI-generated summary about your clinic or your content. That means that you have to have that really amazing content on your website so that AI can go through it and pick it up and showcase you. And that also means that these potential patients are already evaluating credibility. So if your website lacks depth, trust signals, detailed services, provider information, and clear patient-focused content, they may quickly leave to find another provider who appears to have more authority. So what should you do first? Well, if you feel like your website isn't converting, don't start with a complete redesign. Instead, start by asking yourself these questions. Can patients immediately tell what we offer? Do we offer a clear explanation of who we help and what area we serve? Are we answering patients' questions? Do we have enough trust signals? Is scheduling very obvious? Does your website easily load on mobile? Do you have pages for conditions in addition to your services pages? Is your content helpful enough that Google and AI search engines understand your expertise? Often improving just a handful of pages can make a dramatic difference in the actions people take on your website. Your website should not function as an online brochure. It should work as one of your best employees. It should answer questions, build trust, reduce uncertainty, and guide patients towards booking an appointment. If you have additional questions about this or would like us to take a look at your website, please feel free to book a discovery call by visiting propelyourcompany.com. Thanks for listening today.